As for God, his way is perfect. The Lord's word is flawless. He shields all that take refuge in him. For who is God besides the Lord? And who is the rock except our God? It is God who arms me with strength and keeps my way secure. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He causes me to stand on the heights. He trains my hands for battle. My arms can bend a bow of bronze. You make your saving help my shield. And your right hand sustains me. Your help has made me great. You provide a broad path for my feet so that my ankles do not give way. I want to share and tag this text with the subject, I'm victorious.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. I'm victorious. Gracious and eternal God, we say thank you. God, we thank you for this moment that we spend in worship, praise, and prayer, and song. God, we thank you for all that you have done in us and through us. We thank you for the opportunity to serve in this place. God, I pray, Lord, that the words that fall from your servant's mouth might fall on ground that is firm. And God, may those words take deep root in the hearts of men, women, boys, and girls, and then sprout up to be the beautiful flower that you so desire. We thank you, God. Because of you, we are here. Because of you, we celebrate. Because of you, we are your people who give you all of the glory and all of the honor. In Jesus' name, amen. I'm victorious. I just want to just take a few minutes, seriously, a few minutes, and suggest some thoughts from this particular psalm and how it speaks to us in this moment. There is so much going on in our world today.
Yes.
That as a pastor, I'm pulled and I'm stretched. And I'm like, God, what do you people need to hear? Because we honor our veterans today, because we give glory and honor to them for what you have done through them, I want to spend some time talking about victory. And how even in the midst of everything that can be going on in a world that is so crazy, when you would want to stop the ride and just say, God, let me off. I don't want to be on this ride anymore. I don't desire to be a part of this craziness that we see each and every day, 24/7, 365 days a year. It has been crazy. And God, I need to hear a word from you. I need to know that even in the midst of all the foolishness that 45 does, I need to know that in the midst of all of the senseless shootings that continuously happen in our country, I need to know that in the midst of when even church folk go crazy, God, that I can still today that have valiantly fought for our country. Their courage to place themselves in harm's way have provided to us the ability to live in such a way that brings meaning and freedom to life. I thank God for the men and women who, down throughout history, have given and ensured us of this hope and dream to live into this freedom. I thank God for them and what they have given. So we pause today. We pause today to reflect on heroes both far and near. We reflect on the greatness that has come from those heroes for their courageous efforts. For you sit here today, able to worship God, able to give God glory in a freedom, in an environment that allows you to praise in a way that no one can come in and tell you differently. I thank God for those men and women who have given us that ability, because in some countries, Christians, yes, today are being killed for their faith, are being that are being diminished because of their faith, because of their belief in a God that calls us to freedom. I thank God for those that have fought valiantly. And we pause because we recognize that fighting the enemy is no easy task. It's no easy task, and that we need to have people that are ready and willing to lay down their lives in order to fight the good fight. Now, the character of David in our story this morning is no stranger to placing himself in harm's way to ensure that freedom prevails. From a little scrawny shepherd boy, Ms. Dora, fighting off lions, tigers, and bears, oh boy, to becoming Israel's first divinely appointed king, David knows firsthand about this battlefield that we talk about. Do you remember when he fought Goliath? He fought Goliath with a slingshot and 5 smooth stones. He fought Goliath in a way that gave the Israelites the freedom to do what they needed to do. David not only knew how to fight, but he knew that the fight was not won by human strength alone. When he fought Goliath, he knew not to be co-opted by the army's commander's equipment to get the job done. In other words, David had a sense enough to use his own stuff to fight the battle that God had given to him. Remember the story now. The commander told David to use his equipment, right? That heavy, clunky body armor and sword to slay the giant. But David, after putting it on, he said it wasn't comfortable, and he used what he knew he had in his pocket and what had been effective in other times that he had fought. So here's David going out into the battlefield. David tried it on. He said, no, that's all right. I think I'd be better off using my own stuff. When you are in battle, David teaches us, when you are in battle that determines life or death, you don't have time to use someone else's stuff to get the job done. And that's what we find ourselves. We find ourselves being co-opted in life, and people are trying to tell us what we need to do in order to get the job done and win the battle. But I'm here to tell you today that you have some stuff. You have some gifts. You have some abilities. You have some things deep down within you that is effective to win the battle.
Amen. Right.
But using your own stuff, that's just half the battle. And this may sound strange to some and odd to others, but very real in a sense, in saying that in order to be victorious, you've got to not only use your own stuff, but you've got to lean on the Lord too. You've got to understand that it's not just your stuff that gets you to win the battle. It's not just your stuff that allows you to fight the way that you fight, to fight the good fight. That you need to understand that there is a God that has given you the strength and the wherewithal to do what you need to do. And because God gives you the battle, you need to understand, just like David, I give God praise for my deliverance. I give God praise for my freedom. I give God praise for everything that He has done. It was nobody but the Lord that was on my side. See, you need the Lord on your side. It's that testimony. It's that testimony that we have that God has been on our side. Does anyone in here have that kind of testimony this morning? That the Lord was on your side? David was a fierce warrior, but he didn't do it on his own. And we have some fierce warriors that have fought for freedom, but they didn't do it on their own. We just pinned veterans here who did not do it on their own. They did it because God blessed them and God gave them the wherewithal, and they stand here today as a testimony to say that I know that it was nobody but God on my side. The Lord is my strength. Is there anybody in here that knows that the Lord is my strength and my shield? My heart, it trusts in Him. In my heart, it leaps for joy with my song. And because of that, I praise Him for all that He has done. I wonder if there is anyone in this place that knows when life hits you hard, Deacon Capers, and you're not sure how things are going to turn out, that there is a God that loves you unconditionally and speaks continuously and gives me a song that I can sing all the days of my life. I wonder if anybody in here who has felt like you are helpless and hopeless because of the senseless shootings that are going on, and you're wondering, what in the world can I do? How are we going to ever make it through this? I need you to know that the Lord is your strength, and the Lord is your shield, and the Lord gives you the might to do what God needs you to do. So even in the midst of all the craziness, even in the midst of all the foolishness, God gives you exactly what you need. The Lord is my strength. Mostly right here, David sings a song of liberation and freedom. If you will, you know that the whole book of Psalms is a book of songs in which God takes the psalmist through various trials and tribulations and whatever the psalmist is feeling, and how when they go through what they go through, they understand one thing, that there is a God that looks and sits up high and looks down low. There is a God that loves me even in the midst of all those who understand what God is able to do. You understand that God has been with you even through trials and tribulations. Right here, David sings a song of liberation and freedom. And this psalm is directed in praise and devotion to God for deliverance from His enemies. David recognizes that if it had not been for the Lord on his side, he would not be where he is in life. David teaches us that in order to be victorious in the battles of life, you need to be secure, you need to be swift, you need to be strong. And after you have done all of these things, you need to understand that your security, your swiftness, and your strength bring you to a place where you sing a new song in your life. Last week I asked those who are thankful for what God has done, if people were to look at you and look at your life, what song would you be singing, and what song would characterize your life? Who is it? What is deer in our backyard. In order for you to be victorious, you need to be like the deer. We can pull up into our driveway, and there'll be 7 or 8, there'll be the whole family. I ain't like in our yard, eating. And the minute that we pull up, and I believe that they know us. They know the Davis family. And when you look at the deer, in order to be victorious, you need to be swift like the deer. It is said that the spirit of the deer is peace, adaptability, grace, and alertness. You know that they're alert. You know that they're looking to see if there's anything that is out of the norm from their normal environment. And when they find themselves in places that could be of danger, the one who is out in front looks up. And all the other ones go into the woods. And they look. And they don't put their head back down. When we start getting out of the car, they start backing up slowly. And as they back up slowly, the one that said to all the other ones, you need to go ahead and run, that one runs off into the woods too. They don't know what it is that we're going to do. And we're not going to harm them, we're not going to hurt them. But deer have a spirit of peace and adaptability and grace and alertness. And just as David has those swift feet like the deer, you need to have the same kind of swift feet like deer, so that when trouble comes your way, you will understand that what is the trouble? Let me see what's going on. Let me see what's happening. Let me be alert, and let me be filled with the grace in order to back out and not run in foolishly. Some of us run in foolishly, but the deer, they back up and they make their exit. Some of you, when you are fighting God's battles, you need to understand when to back up and to get out the way so that God can come in and bless you where you are. Yeah. So whatever the emergencies in life that you face, David recognized that God had equipped him to meet those needs. God had given him the victory over all of those that rose up against him. These enemies had been the aggressors. They tried to attack him. They attacked him out of hatred. They attacked him for no just cause. And Mosby, I'm here to tell you that in our world today, there are folks that are in our communities that are attacking us because of the color of our skin. There are those in our communities that are attacking us because we're either male or female. There are those in our communities that are attacking us because of how we live our life. There are those in our communities that don't like you because of you and no rhyme or reason as to why, but they just hate you and don't like you, and they will come against you and try to attack you. But you need to know that there is a God that never leaves me nor forsakes me. Security, swiftness, and strength to face all of them that come against you. And there will be some folks that come against you and talk about you and say you ain't doing nothing. And you know, those are the folks who ain't doing nothing. They talking about you, about what you're doing, but they ain't doing nothing. They talking about how you should run things, but they ain't doing nothing. They talking about how things should be, but they ain't doing nothing. They talking about how you should move, but they ain't doing nothing. You got to watch out for the they ain't doing nothing, folks, and crowd, because they mean you harm.
That's right. That's right.
Just as God gave these things to David back then, God offers the same to us today. Through His Word, He illumines our darkness and shows us where the real battles are to be fought against the enemy and his host, the rulers of darkness of this age. And do you know who the rulers of the darkness of this age are? They are the ones that put themselves over and above the Creator of the universe. They are the ones of those who have hatred and malice in their hearts for no particular reason, and they will stop at nothing to ensure that you do not get to your destination. But I'm here today to encourage you, to let you know, one day at a time, no matter what it is that you face, no matter what it is that you wake up to, God has blessed you. God has given you the security. God has given you the strength. God has given you a swift mind to do and fight the battles that God has you in.
Amen. Right.
And just like David, Jesus the Christ had to fight some battles. Jesus had to go through some hard and rough moments in his life. There was a God who said that I am going to end this thing once and for all, and I'm going to give you my son, and his name is the name above all names. His name is a name called Alpha and Omega. His name is a name that lifts you up when you are downcast. His name is a name that gives me life and gives me liberty and gives me freedom. That name is the name that I wake up to each and every morning. That name is a name that I give myself to when I don't know what else to do. I don't know where else to go. That name, Jesus, is the name that I can rest in. Because one day he went to a hill called Golgotha, and he died, he stretched his arms, he died, he was buried in the ground in a tomb, an unburied tomb, and on the third day he woke up with all power in his hands, and because he lives within me. And so we thank God. So we thank God.
Yes, Lord.
That here and now I can live, I can hold my head up high, I can walk boldly and know that no one that is in office, that no one in my home can rule me or tell me what I need to do because it works off for their agenda. I know that God has given me the one run is liberated. So we thank God for that. We thank God for what God is doing in our midst right now. And I want to encourage you that if there is somebody here that does not have the hope that Jesus gives because of all that you see, I want to encourage you today that by yourself it may seem like a difficult task, but when you join with your brothers and your sisters, when you lock arms with your brothers and your sisters, you can do great things. You can go places that you never thought you could go before. You can find yourself in situations where you can be a blessing and speak life to those in your circle, in your community, in your city, and in your world. That is why we are victorious. Because God calls us to do it together. Not alone, not by yourself, but God calls us through His secure self, His strength, and the swiftness of the Lord. He calls us to be victorious. So the truth is, you may not feel victorious every day, but you are victorious forever. Amen. Amen. Come on.